Fuck the socks with the bell on it. Fuck your gay-ass fairy faggot accent. Fuck them cheap-ass cigars. Fuck your yuck mouth teeth. Fuck your hairpiece. Fuck your chocolate. Fuck Guy Ritchie. Fuck Prince William. Fuck the Queen. This is America. My president is black and my Lambo is blue, nigga. Now get the fuck out of my hotel room. And if I see you in the street, I'm slapping the shit out of you.
What it do? What it do? You know how we always do. Oh, fuck you talking about TV. Shout out to Qua. He is actually under the weather today, so he could not be here with us and our ghetto friends and our Negro friends, excuse me. But no, seriously. Yeah, we got some things to talk about. We got a lot to talk about. There has been a lot of chatter, so I need y'all to share this. I need y'all to share this. Continue to share. Put it everywhere. It's on Twitter. It's on Facebook. We need these likes up. We need the viewership up. Like I said, we've been busy. I know we coming back. Quad's coming back. Quick Pro with Winged is coming back. We're doing all of that. We'll be back. I promise. I have basically brought Quad over to my crew as far as what we do at RBE. And so he's definitely helping me out with some things. Shout out to EJ, shout out to Mika. Basically, but we got some things to talk about. We definitely have some things to talk about. So I'm kind of glad that all of this is going down too, though. Let's get into RBE business. The crazy thing about this program, right? All of the information that is asked about, or all these misconceptions and everything, it's crazy that the misconceptions are happening because the information has already been put out there. It's been put out there on the RBE channel. Shout out to Norbs, because Norbs actually was one of the first people who interviewed me when I started with RBE, right? And I explained to him the process. And also shout out to him because he's the inspiration of why this process or even building a newcomer or up-and-comer roster with RBE was started, right? And I'm going to try not to get pissed off. Never consider it being emotional. But do understand, y'all don't do the job that I do. I'm not a scout. I'm definitely a partner with RBE. I deal in talent acquisitions, right? We play the A&R, we play the PR, publicist, babysitter, the list goes on. ARP, Lawrence, never really, Shata did not want to do this, right? Shata wanted to do a version of this, but even with him, he knew what it came with. So it was never something that he really said that he would get into. If y'all are in our spaces ever, ARP will pop in a time or two. He just recently popped in, and he just recently let it be known. You know, at the end of the day, he's loving what's going on, and bigger things are to come, right? And that's really what we're doing. Let's get to the narratives. Being that this is a process, ARP really didn't want this to be called a process because it gives so many different, he felt like it kind of had it was too strong of a word. It implied too many different things, right? So a schedule of things. So when I did start this brick by brick process with Lawrence, he asked me to bring back some that had PG, or excuse me, I said PGs, Lord, some who had 1SKs prior to COVID, before COVID and after COVID, right? The ones before COVID would have been grandfathered in. The ones that was before COVID. The ones after would have been the new breed or whatever the case may be. That became season 1. What I asked for is from ARP and Lawrence is a guideline of standards, because I see what they went through. I see what they go through. Every time there's a big event, ARP may put the bigger card together, but even we still collectively deal with all of those battle rappers. The diva, backbiting, bullshit, manipulation these people have gone through in battle rap on the major side of things, I refuse to go through that when these are people who have not even remotely began to grow their brands and are capable of providing any financial obligation that they come into, because we are the ones dishing out everything for them to have production, right? But I also ask for is outside of that is to establish a hierarchy. We're not gonna sit here and be coy. All of us watch URL, right? PGs, whatever. When it comes to King of the Dot, they have Ground Zero, and they have, before that, I think it's Prove Yourself, something like that, right? Everybody has a system. RBE was just a platform. They never had a system. So for me, this is something that, to be honest, ARP and I, Lawrence and I have had these conversations on many occasions. There have been things that I have facilitated, and I will never put that out there because I have always been behind the scenes. So when somebody says my profile isn't big enough, it's not. And I'm not mad at that. But does my profile have any fucking thing to do with my qualifications? Because this ain't nothing that I ain't never did. I didn't aspire to stay in media. I wanted to give back. I had been around all these different female, male battle rappers and saw their struggles. The first opportunity I ever got to be able to do something like this, that's what I wanted to do. That was my plan. So we're here now. This is one of the hardest jobs ever because it's going to always be finger pointing. You can never have, and nobody is ever satisfied about anything. It's always shits and giggles when it's okay for the artist. That's on the major side too. Trust and believe. But at the same time, I don't change how I am in my real life to the way I am in this situation. And in this situation, trust was everything. Because in order for me to build these people, there were certain things that they needed to adhere to. Trust, integrity, loyalty, having morals, standing on something, believing in something. All of those fucking things you had to know. All of those fucking things you had to actually do. I'm trying to get to where I'm going. Let's see, respectfully. It was Payne, Dollar, Kausion, Sniper, Zay, putting in Payne. Those were real bricks to me. That is your opinion. And that's okay. That's not who started this stuff. That's not who started this at all. And who we chose to push is one thing. Who actually started this is another. So I do appreciate that. We're going to come back to that. So remember that. All right. So again, there had to be a certain thing, a certain standard. It had to be, right? Again, shout out to Norbs, because I also have said a couple of years ago when starting this process, another reason why I started it the way that I did, having a conversation with Norbs when Summer Madness that happened in Las Vegas, when that Summer Madness went awry, right? And I had Norbs on the Breakdown crew one time, and because Norbs is an avid sports fan, right? I say to Norbs, I'm like, man, why is it that you can't apply rules, or why is it that you can't do this? Because ultimately these are contracted artists, right? You are paying them to do a service. So why can't you curtail how things are done? He was like, well, these are adults. You can't babysit adults. How is it that y'all like to use sports analogies so much in battle rap, but for some reason adults can't be monitored when people's money is put in play? Now, I'm not talking about just going crazy, but anybody who works for a company represents that company, right? All right. So the standards are here. Things are the way that they are, whatever. So when we go forward, everything is great. A process also applies to production and all these other different things that we'll get into. So when you are not, it was never that once you're not in compliance with a process. It was never that you wouldn't leave. It was never that somebody ever said that, oh, you got to go. I don't know where that misconception came from. But this is actually a process. Just as well as any sports, any football team, any basketball team, any hockey team, any baseball team. If your ass ain't doing the job, you get traded, right? All right. So let's get into it. For the most part, if y'all have questions in regard to this that I'm not answering, let me know and we'll get to it. Mr. Burns, we're going to get to it. Are you trying to get to what you want to hear, or are you trying to hear what it is that I'm trying to say? Because that is part of the problem. It's a lot of misconceptions, a lot of narratives, and a lot of people who have my phone number that could have called me and asked me what the fuck was going on and never did. So, like I said, we're going to slow roll this the same way everybody else is slow rolling it and acting like they don't know shit. So that's what we're going to do. Right? Right. All right. So, like I said, I do appreciate the fact that the concern from the culture and all of that. But like I said, the three aspects of this process came down to the fact that it ain't even about being loyal. It was about being real, about everybody having the same goal and knowing what everything is, how everything is supposed to go. Knowing that we had a lot of leaps and bounds that needed to be established before you can really call yourself a star, right, in battle rap. And everybody knew under those same that was the same goal. So this is basically, if you were following from the beginning, we had two different events. That third event is kind of what kind of cemented the bricks, and I think people really started to know who they were. And unfortunately, some things occurred thereafter. Breed, Sniper, y'all can help me out with this too, because like I said, I'm kind of doing this by myself, but I also have notes that I'm going by.
What's the word?
What's going on? So when we started off, it was Coach, Breed, Remedy, Larry Bull, Dev the Demon, Delvo, Jay Jeans, right?
Facts. And Zay too. You name Zay?
No. The grandfather people were Payne, Zay / Remedy. And you know what? The honorable mention, which would be Snake Eyes, right? That was the Houston event.
Man.
And then we brought in Payne and them in the second event in PA, right?
Yeah.
And then the Houston event actually is where Will Major and 6'8" actually did the tryout. They weren't doing the 1SK. They actually did a tryout.
Facts.
Okay,
they 1SK
right.
ain't happened until Lift Your Soul.
Yeah, the 1SK didn't happen until Lift His Soul. But they kind of came in between before we kind of started season 2 when Kausion came in.
Mm-hmm.
And they were kind of borderline that. So that kind of is to give y'all a little bit of a timeline of how, how that all happened. Being that we were building a hierarchy, because by that time when we had about 13, 14 people in season 1, season 2 came around. And then we started to kind of build a regime in that. And like I said, everything is a hierarchy, right? Everything is a hierarchy. So we were trying to show ranks just as well as the PGs. You have ranks. People have to battle people. You move up to, to the Survivor Series. Band came along, but for the most part, you had Born Legacy Supreme. Pretty much, we were kind of to build the hierarchy. That's pretty much where we were going with that. That's how that happened, right? So as we're doing that, we're building on to season 2. We're kind of moving in that direction. Brick by brick is moving, but so are the way we're building. We're now building a female roster. Kausion technically would be the first. Raw Image was actually the first who battled on
She was Max
on our
out.
on Max Out 2. And
Yep.
unfortunately, that battle didn't go the way it needed to go. So if I have any mods in here, yeah, I don't really do the bullshit. If you here for the bullshit, you go ahead. Because I don't care who's dissing, whatever. We're here to listen if that's what you're here for. But anyway, mods, I want y'all to do y'all jobs. So like I said, the female roster started with Kausion. As we've said before, both of us have said, as far as in bringing her on aesthetically, she wasn't what people wanted, in female battle rap. I needed to bring her on in a setting to where people would respect the writtens and not look at everything else. ARP Lawrence didn't even understand that. So I didn't, you know what I mean? I wasn't even trying to, I just wanted them to hear her. So that's how that went down. And obviously, as y'all see, we believed in her. ARP and Lawrence believed in her. So a lot of push came with her. But with a lot of push with her, us becoming friends, to her kind of bringing her into a circle of friends of mine, which would be the media people that I work with, all of that. I was kind of told, how, and that was my fault, how things are looked at from other battle rappers. At the end of the day, some people, we get into this, oh, you're being nicer over here to this person than you are to me. It's being said that, oh, well, if you do this with her and you're building her, you don't have time to build us. She's getting all the plates and whatever the case may be. A lot of people was getting a lot of big heads too. So as those people were getting big heads, all of these different people, y'all are not seeing these different things, nor do y'all know these different things. Because the one thing that in the brick house, what goes on in this house stays in this house. And the two things that most people knew, that Wayne wasn't going to talk about what is going on in the house. It wasn't the fact that Wayne was hiding anything, because everything was very transparent. Everything. You don't work, you don't eat. Simple as that. Wayne, as Kausion has said, Wayne takes you, dusts you off, makes you all great and golden, and puts you in front of that camera so ARP and them can. Was that not the case? Interesting, her last statement that she made, right? This is why I say, do y'all read music or do you skim through it? Because y'all would like to believe any motherfucking thing, right? All right. And we're not going to go personal because, like I said, this is a business. And there's so much about this business acumen that has more to do with anything than other people making it personal. And I've always said, no matter how much of a friendship we had to build, we were working towards something. So you had that kinship. But at the same time, I had to make sure that it was still business, because where ARP and Lawrence may have felt a certain way, they heard it from me because I was on the ground floor. So I'm the one that takes all the grunt for everything the fuck that's going on. That's just how it goes. And I was okay with that. It's very hard. It's very disheartening when shit don't go motherfuckers' ways, and then all of a sudden it's Wayne's fault. So we're going to get into that though. And I said I wasn't going to get mad, but we're going to get into that because y'all been doing a lot of bullshit out here for the last couple of years. And I have been very quiet about it. Very fucking quiet about it. While y'all have shit on us for so long, but for some reason, everybody still needs the bricks. Now, back to Mr. Burns. The people that you talking about that aren't here, if you are following them, supporting them, that's wonderful. Support their asses outside of RBE, because I don't see y'all doing that. Somehow it becomes a big ass thing when it comes to, oh, they're no longer on RBE. Over here, they are told I monitor ticket sales and I monitor VOD sales. Every last one of them. When we moved here to Virginia, I curtailed it a little more. This is, of course, I'm kind of skipping around a little bit, but at the same time, I'm just showing y'all the business model, right? That's the other thing you learn here, because that's one thing in battle rap that a lot of these battle rappers that's up and coming, y'all don't know the business. Y'all think that somebody is supposed to give you this $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 play. Why do y'all think that some of these leagues do pay for play? I don't particularly like it, but I can understand it. I would never go into the budget that we actually spend on battle events that we did all last year. We did 3 major events and we had what, eight brick intake events along with the 3 majors. Okay, Bree doesn't know, but I will say, I can't hear you. You're on mute.
Somebody had asked me a question. What you say?
I was saying, how many brick intake events did we have?
Was it
last year?
Like 3, 4 no way out?
No, we had 3 major, and we had shit. I thought it was.
You asking for you asking for major events and brick events?
Brick intake events.
It was 5.
It
was 5. 4 intake and 1 brick versus intake.
And then the brick versus intake.
Okay, so it was a collective of 8. It was a collective of 8.
Right.
The bottom line, the collective of 8 events that we did out of the 4 or 5 that we did outside of the majors, y'all really don't understand how much those events cost, as well as obviously the bigger events. Us having to fly down, ruin your day, us having to pay for hotels, us having to pay for travel, like just the pot. Y'all don't know how much that is for people who are not draws yet. So we're gonna put those things out there. Mr. Burns, hold on. Quad's under the weather. Unfortunately, I kind of got to do this all myself. I seen Cap's blog. Besides that, I follow Quad only. I appreciate you, Mr. Burns. I watch all battles from any league. I'm commenting because it's facts and the subjects you're talking about. Okay, you're addressing. Understand. No. But like I said, your opinion of who you felt and shout out Cheeks. I'm sorry, I'm not shouting y'all out. I'm trying to keep. We are in the middle of promotion. We're gonna get to that too. But I'm trying to keep on track. Mr. Burns, like I said, I ain't tripping. Like I said, that I look to the fans to tell me who y'all think should be pushed, who y'all are digging. You know what I mean? That's what like when I started this process, that's really what I fucked with, is the fact that the people who were in tune, that for me, I even told the Bricks that if they see you, that's who, you know what I mean? Shout out Tony Bro. Shout out a lot of the F Dots, Space Baby Wayne's, Talks with Jay, Battle Raps Outlet. I'm missing some people, and if I am, I'm sorry. But these are some of the bloggers that aren't as big. Their profiles are not big, but that don't mean that they don't know shit. Right? That doesn't mean that they're not out here on their grind, going to battle rap events, following everything that's going on in battle rap. Y'all better get in tune. Y'all really better get in tune, because everything that y'all needed to know about this process, you would have known. Y'all need to come holler at us in the spaces. Shout out Dollar Bill. You got motherfuckers talking about they don't even know who Dollar Bill is, and Dollar Bill been on Bags and Bodies. What are we talking about? But let me digress. I'm gonna pull it back. So let's get back to where we were. The backbiting. All right. People start to look at things a certain way. So we started to have I started to have a little pushback when it came to people, some of the Bricks feeling certain ways. And we've had plenty of Bricks that actually have left or have been put out. That's the difference between leaving and a motherfucker actually being told, get the fuck on. There was a lot of people who left. It wasn't Wayne that kicked you out.
They left and blamed you.
It was, yeah, they left and blamed me. There was a lot of people that didn't that I didn't kick out.
Bree gonna keep it factual.
Yeah, let's keep it factual. Let's keep it real factual. So that's kind of what I wanted y'all to know. These are processes: the bricks process and the intake process. The bricks, when you come in, even if you're getting your first looks or your second blue rooms or whatever you're getting, when you make that main stage, you don't stop learning because you're just getting at the cusp of your people knowing your name. You're not a star yet. But see, that's the difference in what somebody thinks and what is going on. This is why this is a process. I'm going to keep saying that. This is why this is a process. Because it's a lot of shit that you still don't know. Because if you had, you wouldn't be over here. And this is what we continue to do. And reinvent the wheel every time. If y'all understood how many man hours I put in with motherfuckers that ain't my fucking children, every time I've said, ARP, I'm done with this shit. I'm tired of these motherfuckers. Y'all have no clue. None. Absolutely none. And this ain't a woe is me situation. This is a fact that motherfuckers have been trying to keep the wheel together for so long. But when motherfuckers start to get that little taste of stardom and y'all start calling their names, now all of a sudden they too Hollywood to be in the middle of shit. So who should we start with, Bree?
Hey. The bullshit. Say, who should we start with, huh?
I guess the first person to kind of distance themselves.
That would be the right order.
So let's start with Remedy Loco, because I actually saw a post the other day when all the bullshit was happening, and somebody used the word blackballed. No, nobody was blackballed. Let's say this: now that you've made the main stage, you have the option to battle the main stage. Now, here's where, like I said, motherfuckers didn't understand. And as much as we preach this, motherfuckers didn't understand. If ARP ain't booking you, since so many people claim they were signed here and all of this other stuff, the people who decided to say, oh, I don't need you motherfuckers no more, I'm a star, thought that ARP was booking them every battle. Not realizing that we are still booking you. Whether you're on every time ARP put that big card together, it's okay. Well, what bricks are we putting on this card? Well, we had the first wave that we were putting on that card, on cards, I should say. That was the first wave, but we still had other bricks that were still working in brick by brick events to get to these main cards. So it's a filtration system almost. It's not that you were supposed to stop doing brick events. It was the fact that everybody deserved a turn. Once we got you where the people are seeing you, now it's time for you to come on back and start battling in the hierarchy. Same way the PGs did, right? John, Clean. Like, we know these phenomenal fucking battles. The battle that y'all saw between Payne and Coach, that was actually a battle that was that was a card. What was that? No Way Out? Was that No Way Out card?
No Way Out card.
That was the No Way Out card that it was supposed to be. The No Way Out card where these people have been grinding with each other for 2 years. I want to see how, since they built this closeness, I really want to see how they fare against each other. No personals, strictly rapping. But ARP then did Divide and Conquer. That's when I said, you know what? No, fuck that. I need Coach and Payne, because at this point, Coach, Payne, and Kausion were the top. Closure, we had the situation, and I'm just skipping into that because I'm a segue into that. Well, you know what? I'm sorry. Prior to, or let's go back. Let's move back a little bit, because as the bricks started to really emerge, we had the straight to it. That would be where you saw Kausion. That's where you would saw Payne, and you would have saw Remedy. Then we had Blood, Sweat, and Tears, and then we get there. So all Jay Breedens, they are actually being built in this process too. But the ones that we are had that little more that we felt like, oh no, these are the people. Those were the people who made those main stages. So that's where you would have seen the Cautions, the Coaches, the Paynes, and Remedy. Unfortunately, Remedy was also somebody I was very close to. I was very close to all of that season 1. Although Caution would have been season 2,
Right.
I was really close to all of them. I mean, I work nights, so I'm almost like motherfuckers babysitters. I'm like, I don't really want to go all into that, but I am like motherfuckers babysitters, dead ass. I'm not even gonna lie. Every night I'm on the phone or at work, I am on the phone with a brick about something that's going on with their lives. And I was okay with that because I really needed them to win. I really needed them to be able to perform and do what they needed to do. So if they just needed that ear, that was cool. I didn't care. All right. Remedy was one of them people. Most people know Remedy for being really wild. And even the conversation that Lawrence and I had with him and a conversation he had with ARP, in bringing him back, that was something that I told him. I need you to be, like, he even said, no, sis, this is going to be that. This is going to be like, I appreciate you for even coming to get me, but this needs to be that. I'm not fucking up. I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to do that. He has some shit going on in his life or whatever the case may be. There was a female that came into a 1SK situation, and whatever happened with them happened with them. But it stemmed around a situation with Kausion. And I won't go into that, but ultimately this is where he got upset with me with that whole situation. And here we are. All right. We had some choice words or whatnot, but at the same time, I didn't have to work with him. We were building him. ARP was building him on the main stage. He would work with ARP on the main stage. He was a contracted brick. He was a franchise. You know what I mean? And that's the way we were building him. But unfortunately, for some reason, I don't know why somebody thinks that because you can disrespect me and I'm just supposed to sit there and allow that to happen. If I can't fuck with you, I don't have to work with you. Like, I don't. And this was not just a situation of words. You know what I mean? This was a lot more than that. It had gotten a lot more than that. So it just made it to where, yeah, that's just how that went down. I asked ARP, hey, get him on the phone. We could do a 3-way call. I have no problem with that. Maybe we can work together. Him and Kausion had an issue. I tried to mediate between that situation with ARP, him, her, whatever the case may be. I took a lot of shots when it came to her, though. So, like I said, it wasn't something that I necessarily did, but it was how, I guess, I was in the middle of the situation that I ended up getting shot, because instead of people coming to actually talk to me about what was going on, they assumed because they assumed that because me and Kausion had a friendship that I was siding with her, when that was furthest from the truth. But that's exactly how that happened. I'm trying to think. Okay, so that's that. Where else? What after that? Then it was Payne, right? Situation with Payne.
For shit show.
All right, so I guess that would have been Divide and Conquer 2.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I speak with Payne. He did not like the outcome of that battle, is what I have to say happened. He didn't like the outcome of that battle. I was about to go to work. He called me. I answered. That would have been the last conversation I had with Payne, actually, before he went on live and decided to suggest and feel the way he felt, to basically speak on the way he felt. I know during that time frame, it was a few conversations where he was distancing himself from the group, and I allowed him to do it, or whatever, because again, these were the people I was building or helping build or whatever you want to call it. So if he needed that time, that was fine. I didn't really look at it as anything other than that at the time. When he felt the way he felt about Kausion and the bricks and sabotage with bags and bodies like that, for me even, I've told him that had to be furthest from the truth. Like, bro, how can you say that when we've been trying to do the whole bags and bodies versus bricks at the blood, sweat, and tears. Them niggas was bags and bodies was on one side, we was on the other side. They was talking cash shit to each other. Them niggas wasn't friends. And I'm like, bro, did you forget that? Like, how did you forget that? So he had told me about some voice recordings, and I thought I remembered that voice, but I could not remember whose voice it was. And plus, I was half asleep. I told him I would watch the battle. I would see what you're talking about. I know when I was in the building, I'm going to tell y'all, I was not in the building for the battle. It was behind the scenes. It was so intense. Y'all got to understand, this was a brother and sisterhood. So when people felt like, oh, the bricks, they so unified, we were. Y'all got to understand, we really, really were. We understood that we all had a common goal. Niggas didn't like RBE, and a lot of motherfuckers can't stand my ass for whatever reason or another. But hey, it is what it is. We knew we had a target on our back. But we also knew that we needed that the hunger that we had to show and prove ourselves on this league was imminent. So nobody took, and then it kind of got a little weird in the chat. Would y'all agree? It kind of got a little weird in the chat at that time. So it was kind of like, okay, nobody wanted to take sides.
It was a lot of distance being created. It was a lot of friction going on.
Yeah, it was a lot of friction. So to make sure that Payne nor coach felt slighted, nobody really took a side, really. Nobody took a side. If you watch that footage, you actually only see one person. Well, no, I think Jay Gray was on coach's side because they was both, but she was knew him from Barrow. They built a friendship from Bags and Bodies. And then of course you see Tato behind Payne. Zay is like in the middle by ARP. The lady bricks are all the way in the back by the sign, right? Breed and me, we was outside. I think Lawrence was with us. I think Lawrence may have been with us. Nobody wanted to be there. Nobody wanted to be.
Remember, Lawrence was upstairs in the VIP. Remember, I was looking for water. I was about to die.
At the end of the day, that I feel like may have been one of the reasons that was kind of the beginning of the end of our strength, because of how that all went down. Unfortunately, all of that went down from that situation, and unfortunately, Payne felt the way he felt, and he continued to take shots. You cannot take shots at something that I built. You cannot take shots at something that I brought you in this motherfucker, because if you're taking shots, you're taking shots at me. And that was the misconception. Payne felt like, no, I'm taking shots at them. But it's like, no, Payne, you can't say that. So we never had a conversation after that. Then somehow other shit started coming about. But even then, as I was telling Lawrence and ARP the things that I was telling them, oh, coming soon, though. Payne, you want to come up? You want to have a conversation? Oh, we don't have to lie about anything. If you do, I can send you the link, because you know goddamn well ain't nobody lying about shit. What do I have to lie about? Now, I ain't talking about whatever you and Coach got going on. What do I have to lie about? Did you not bring your ass to that intake event? You and Kausion hashed it the fuck out. You apologized for jumping out the fucking window. There's a whole picture running around, and everything was kumbaya. Did that not happen? Did that not happen? Did you not call me that particular day, say, hey, this is what's going on? I told you I am going to call you back when I am done. You said, since I'm about to go in this interview. All right, cool. Lay my ass back down, went back to work and heard all the shit you was doing. Did that not happen? The fuck I got to lie for? Yeah, all the shit that y'all been doing around this motherfucker, what the fuck I got to lie for? Ain't no reason to lie. Ain't no reason to ever have hated on you. Please don't do that. And I can give a fuck who you talk to. Please don't bring your ass up here with that bullshit, because we can have this conversation. We definitely can. You didn't apologize to Kausion? Y'all, he said he didn't apologize to Kausion at the event.
Who? We all took a picture at the end of it. Who?
Payne said, I never apologize to nobody. Y'all be lying. And that's why your ass will wait for ARP to actually book you, my nigga. And this, thank you so much for that. Because this is why, like I said, I refuse to do a deal with anybody lying and bullshitting. You mean to tell me you and Kausion did not? Ain't there some pictures around when him and Kausion is talking? Or some video or something? I know we got that, because I've seen it recently.
I think we all got a group picture we took at the end of the event.
No, I'm talking about actual conversation, because it was used for something else. But yeah, like ain't nobody got to lie on you. But you know what? I'm going to let you keep whatever helps you sleep at night. Poor nigga, that's never the thing. The fuck got to lie on you. Anywho, back to what we was talking about. Like I said, how that went. Folks wasn't in the, like I said, whatever helps him sleep at night with what he wants to believe actually happened. I've asked ARP to put you on the phone, me on the phone, and him on the phone, so we can have this conversation too. On all three of my kids, I never apologized to her. Just because we took a picture don't mean nobody apologized for shit. What would you call it, Payne? What would you call it? Yeah, because you know he be real slick with how he answers shit. What would you call it? She told you how she felt. You told her how she felt. And y'all buried the hatchet. Is that better for you? I guess you didn't bury the hatchet either, huh? That's not apologizing. No, regardless, that's not what I said. Did you bury the hatchet or not? But this ain't about you. Your 15 minutes of fame is about to be up, though. Yeah, I see what you're doing. Like I said, you can pull up or you can get on the phone with you, me, and ARP. That's what we can do. Anywho, as I said, all of what occurred has occurred. Motherfuckers love pulling up when it comes time for RBE doing anything. That's crazy to me. Anywho, where were we? So past that, that's happened. Contracts are up now. So yeah, if ARP is still booking niggas, he's still booking niggas. That's just what that is. Shots out to whatever. Y'all advocate for Payne, advocate for that chess battle to drop though, and get them numbers up with Av. That's all I'm gonna say. And every other battle he got. Thank you, Top Shelf Hefe. Or Top Hefe. Season 2. So we come into season 2. Season 2 leaders at that time. Yeah, Goonie, I'm probably capping. Like I said, he has the right to pull up. Quad just put the link in the chat. He can pull up. I ain't never got a cap for nobody. It's too many bricks, and these motherfuckers ain't brainwashed. We done had issues. Sino done been suspended. It's been all kind of shit going on. Nobody has to lie. Thank you, April. Got a whole lot to say in the comments. I'm asking him to pull up. Matter of fact, I've asked for a phone call with him, me and ARP on several occasions. I'm waiting for that. I guess I'll be lying in that too. But anyway, like I said, past him, those are the issues. That was that. He claims that there was no apology or whatever they had going on over a few steps from everybody. everything was supposed to be okay. They was good. She was good. It was back to supposed to be whatever. That didn't happen. I do know what happened was we can continue to hear the bashing of the bricks and all the other shit. So that was on that. We continue to hear how Payne wasn't battling any of the bricks. He was bigger than the bricks, and he was waiting for ARP to book him. But yet and still, then I was hearing Wings not booking me. Well, I book for the intake. I book for the bricks. That's where that comes from. I think Payne is up here. Hold on 1 minute. All right. Y'all mute up and let Payne talk. Go right ahead.
First of all, I ain't coming up here to be going back and forth with nobody or none of that shit. I'm just tired of niggas keep saying my name, capping, making me out to seem like a nigga that I'm not. First of all,
well, you made me out to seem like a person that I'm not.
All right, let me know when I could talk, and then I'll talk.
No, you said that you're not coming up here to go back and forth with anybody. If there's any
I'm not about to argue. We can have a conversation. I'm not about to argue with niggas.
Okay, all right. Go ahead.
So like I said, though, the problem started when you booked me versus Coach. Everybody was cool up until that. The last words me and him said to each other was, damn, bro, why I gotta battle my brother? I don't want to battle my bro. I ain't trying to battle my bro. This shit crazy. Why she always trying to make motherfuckers that's cool battle? And that's all the last words we said to each other was, damn, bro, I don't want to battle my bro. Next thing you know, he's on Twitter talking crazy out of nowhere. I never said one word to Coach ever. Then I start calling y'all, hey, this nigga taking the past battle rap. I don't want to battle this nigga, y'all. Y'all basically made us battle. So everybody keep talking about the process going down after that battle. That's y'all fault. Because we was telling you we don't want to battle. And y'all basically made...
Payne, hold on. Let me stop right there. You said, why does she keep making us battle each other? Did this battle not come from a card where we all agreed that was going to happen?
I'm saying you gonna pick the battles. We ain't the ones that pick the battles. You do. We said the same thing when you booked it on the other card. Why do people want to see?
Understand that, but what I'm asking you, I'm only asking you one question. Was this not 3 months ago? This was a card 3 months ago.
That's irrelevant. Wait a minute. That's irrelevant because who knew that this nigga would turn fake and do the shit he did after we was booked already?
Okay.
So it wasn't no problem at first. It was a problem when he started doing the bullshit.
Payne,
so it don't matter when it was booked because it wasn't a problem at first.
Payne, I never not said that wasn't the issue. If you heard me just say,
no. What you said was the issue is I'm mad about a fucking result of a battle. I never said. Can I speak right quick?
That's the first thing I said. But after
can I finish my thought real quick though?
No, let me finish saying what I said though. After I said that, I understand
he didn't like the result of the battle. Like, what are you talking about? I never said shit like that. What I said was Kausion was cheerleading that day. That's the only thing I ever said. Can I wait a minute? Damn, can I get my thought out first? Can I get the full thought?
Because you want to what you're trying to do. Because what you're trying to do is
I'm correcting what you said because you just put a narrative out and said that I was mad about the result of a battle, and I never said nothing like that.
What you're trying to correct what I said. What you also said was that basically all this other stuff was going on when I allowed you to leave that group because all the other shit was going on. That's what you just said. So we were like,
it's not about no group. It's about what niggas saying in real life. I wasn't even in no group to see what nobody was saying in the group. I'm telling you what the niggas saying in real life. Anyway, like you said, you trying to put a narrative about that I was mad about some fucking result of a battle, like the battle was judged or something. I got fucking chest and ill will after him. That nigga ain't even battle no more after that battle. So why would I be mad at some results? What I said was, and the only thing I said was, damn, Kausion, you was in there cheerleading and we just was in the parking lot talking how we bricks and this and this. And then another thing too, y'all keep talking about I was talking about the bricks. I have no reason to say nothing about none of these other niggas. They wasn't even there. Why would I say something about all the bricks and the only people I seen was Kausion and Peaches in them? The only person I said something about was Kausion. The only person I said something about was Kausion. Damn, you was in there cheerleading, being extra. I heard you. That's the only thing I said. So you talking about mad about the result of a battle. I don't even know where the fuck that come from. Payne, a sore
that came from your
loser.
narrative.
Payne don't know how to take a loss. I only said something about her cheerleading.
Stop, because I let you talk. So now we're gonna sit here and act like we don't know the perception of what people say. So why don't you go back to your interviews?
It was a blog that they put out. Not a blog.
Payne, I let you talk.
Go ahead.
The perception of everything that was said along with your tweets that have been screenshotted.
It ain't no perception. It's fucking. It's blogs out about people saying I'm winning. Tweets people saying I'm winning. Some people saying he won. People saying I won. It's not everybody just saying he won like he killed me or some shit. People that like him saying he won. People saying I won. It's a regular battle. What you talking about?
That's fine. But that's
not so the only thing I said was Kausion was in there cheerleading. And then with me and you, when I blocked you and deleted you, that's when you had a problem with me. So I don't know why you keep talking about all this other shit about Kausion and all that. I deleted you and then you got mad. I never said your name to nobody. I never tweeted your name. I never said nothing about you.
Oh my God, please tell me when. Because I didn't know you blocked me. I didn't know you deleted me.
You did know I blocked you because they sent me your tweet soon as I blocked you. Niggas want to block me so they can talk shit. I never said nothing about you. What you mean block you to talk shit?
Guess what? Hold on.
They sent me the tweet, dude.
Hold on. Because you act like you the only motherfucker in reality that
as soon as I blocked you, 2 minutes later, you tweeted that shit. They sent it to me.
Okay. Well,
just because I know you ain't say my name, so you can do what you're doing now. Make it seem like you weren't talking about me.
No. That's never the case. Because I never blocked you. You blocking me.
You don't have no reason to block me. That's why. Why would you block me? I never did nothing to you.
And what reason did you have to block me?
You want me to tell you?
Oh, absolutely.
Oh yeah. So when I battled Av in Virginia and them niggas was in there biased as fuck. And then after the battle, when this is why I blocked you. I'm gonna tell you why. Because I don't expect you to be standing behind me like you walked in the building with me or no shit. But at the end of the day, niggas was RBE. So and again, I know why you ain't standing. Damn, can I finish real quick though? Can I finish the full thought right there?
Where was I during that battle?
Can I finish the full thought real quick though? I ain't even finished what I'm saying.
Where was I during the battle?
Can I finish talking, please?
Go ahead, Payne.
How you cut me off in the middle of me like damn? Like I said, I wasn't
about us being RBE. That's
Lord
why.
Jesus.
So,
anyway, I wasn't expecting you to stand behind me or stand on camera or have no damn Payne posters in the crowd. I know why you ain't standing on camera. I ain't even gonna say that on here. But everybody in the building seen how biased them niggas was. Niggas from Virginia walking up to me after the battle like, damn, I'm born and raised here. I don't even know why they just did you like that, bruh. Nigga walk up to me in my face. We biased for Av tonight. Fuck you. What side Av standing on? Niggas is on camera, right in front of the camera while I'm rapping, covering their mouth, turning their back to the camera, burying their face in their shirt so they not reacting on camera. But soon as he rap, everybody grabbing his shirt, screaming. Y'all niggas see what's going on. I'm not tripping about none of that. I know where I was at, but what made me feel a way about you is when I get on Facebook and the fucking YouTube video say, Av wilding on Payne. Now, you can share that too, but what was the point of you sharing that with laughing emojis though? Like you don't know them niggas was just biased as fuck towards me in there. Why would you share that laughing? It's like you were trying to clown me or some shit. That's why you got deleted and blocked. It ain't nothing else but that.
That's your feeling, right?
Niggas not about to be playing with me in public. Nigga, they like, damn, ain't she RBE? Ain't y'all RBE? Right? What the fuck is she laughing at?
That's your feeling, right? That's a you problem, right?
It ain't about no fucking you problem or feeling. If niggas trying to clown and you laughing, you just said motherfuckers be on the phone every day. We RBE. That's why you got blocked. Because you was on Facebook trying to clown and be funny and shit. That's why.
Are you gonna let me talk?
Yeah, go ahead and talk. You got blocked because you were trying to be funny though. Go ahead and talk.
Yeah, that was your thought. So we weren't on the phone every day by then, because now we're gonna clean up some misconceptions. We weren't on the phone every day by then. Oh, here we go. You just said it. So do I need to rewind
I
this?
said you just said we used to be on the phone all the time. I'm not talking about now or that time.
So why the fuck would you bring that up? Because that don't even matter whether we was on the phone all the time or not. My nigga, we talking about right then and there.
At that, it ain't no reason for you to do the 50. I ain't never do nothing to you at that time. You were talking about how cool we was. That's why people asking like, damn, what's she laughing at? I thought she said y'all was cool, Payne. I thought she said y'all was good. She trying to clown you? What's she on?
Oh my God, are you gonna let me talk? Because I let you give all your reasons.
You ain't let me do nothing. I gotta beg you to talk. Go ahead though.
No, you ain't gotta beg me to shit. I shut the fuck up when you was talking,
go ahead and talk,
and now I'm trying to.
Talk like a woman. Stop cussing. Go ahead and talk though.
Check this out. Don't nobody tell me how to fucking talk. I do what I do. That's your fucking problem.
Yeah, I see. We see.
That's your fucking problem. And I don't give a fuck, because guess what?
Right. What you was saying though? Say what you was about to say.
I am who the fuck I am.
Ain't nobody asked questioning nothing about who you are. What you said though?
This shit and I don't. Y'all do.
How? Well, who is y'all? You don't like, nigga. You don't know what we doing already.
Check this out. That's how quickly I can delete you and take you the fuck off. Now, like I said, that's y'all niggas' problems. Y'all sit up here and want to be this and that and battle rap, and ain't that shit at y'all houses. I talk how I talk for niggas like you. Now, you just sat up here and said, oh, whatever. We are past being friends. We are past having any type of rapport because of all the fucking interviews. Now, bricks that are up here, how many fucking interviews are there? Because see, a lot of chatty patties, I just heard him say, are telling him how to feel in regard to fucking post or whatever. The actual clip that was stated or was put on my Facebook page was the clip when the nigga said something about a wing special. The reason that was is because if you know, you know, somebody was running around talking about who didn't do what for him, trying to make it seem as if, oh, she don't do shit for me. She didn't do shit for me to get here or whatever. So I guess he didn't say that either. So when that was stated, when I saw that clip, that's why that was done. Anything before that, oh, why she trying to make me battle my brother? That was a card, as we said before he came up here. That card was supposed to be a card that we were doing months prior to. We understood, like a PG class or anything else, in order for people to see your strengths, this is what you got to do. If you didn't like that battle, you didn't have to do that battle. Nobody, Sino, Breed, Sniper, Zay, I have always asked y'all to do something, told you what I felt it would do with that battle, and it was up to you if you wanted to do it. Did y'all, or you know what, I need to ask Coach, because Payne, I don't know. That particular battle, when that battle got steam, when that announcement got put out there, did y'all or did y'all not hear motherfuckers say, damn, I didn't think it was going to do all that. Okay, you know what, Wing, this might be a good battle.
That's a fact. You can use me and Zay for an example too, though, because we definitely didn't want to do that. But hey, look what
Zay and Sniper, Breed and Zay.
You can use me and Zay too.
Right.
I feel like, I mean,
Zay and Sino, actually, that was a story for at home. Nobody knew that backstory. People like battles with backstories. And although that battle didn't start with a backstory, whatever Coach, he felt like Coach did, that wasn't nothing that nobody can do about that. But now we know how Payne felt, because I never even knew how he felt about whatever he felt about, but I also saw what he was doing and what he was saying. So, yeah.
Me personally, like with all that situation, my bad, but no, like me personally with that situation, I know around the time Coach and Payne battle, I think I was still on my suspension, so I can't speak too much about like the inners or whatever. But just me personally, like when I first seen it, you know, at the time everybody was always saying, you know, Payne and Coach could interchange for number one of the brick, so I kind of thought the battle made sense. But you know, with the banter and the shit talking on Twitter and all that stuff, when I first seen it, I just thought it was them promoting the battle. You know, I didn't think it was, you know, people felt, you know, no type of way about it. And maybe if, you know, Coach said something to Payne or Payne said something to Coach that, you know, because like Payne said, like they was bros or whatever. So maybe Coach had said something or Payne had said something that they didn't like and they felt like they shouldn't have been said. But you know, I just feel like at the end of the day, it's battle rap. But I can also see people having boundaries.
Well, I mean,
Payne
was
I just
telling
still
me,
lean more towards that it's just battle
Payne
rap.
was telling me that stuff was that he felt like Coach was saying this or Coach was saying that. And that is part of the reason why I allowed him to go ahead and lead a group. Because remember what happened with Jay Jeans and Coach. So it was like, okay, you know what? Before anything gets too personal, we gonna do this. Payne was sending me screenshots and telling me the shit that was going on. So I understood. If it got too crazy and Payne like, Wayne, I ain't doing this battle. I think it got to that point almost. I can't even remember at this juncture, but ultimately he was still down to do the battle. Coach was still down to do the battle. But at the end of the day, if we are trying to build y'all, this is some of the things that in battle rap everybody has done.
Yeah.
Everybody has done. To gripe about that, all right, why is she trying to have us do this? Okay, they were told why. They still didn't have to do it, but it was in the blue room. Let's seize this opportunity. This is all we have to get y'all on the main stage. Let's seize that. Fuck it. And unfortunately, what happened is what happened. Like I said, we will sit here and act like, and this is the other thing y'all are being taught. We will sit here and act like we don't see what's being perceived. Motherfuckers wasn't running around saying, oh no, I'm not talking about all the bricks. I'm not saying this. I'm not saying that. And if he did say it, I didn't see it. Did y'all see it? We can't see you hit your head nodding.
Nah, I mean, we seen some shit, you feel me? Like, we seen all of it.
No, but I'm saying apparently he said he didn't say anything about the bricks.
Nah, over a period of time, it definitely did become about the bricks. I ain't gonna lie. And Payne can say what he want to, but I will say when the battle got booked, you know what I'm saying? I'm cool with Coach and Payne at the time, so I ain't necessarily want to see it, but I felt like it was a good battle because of the hierarchy, you feel me? And the card that it would be on, so that part made sense. But them niggas ain't want to do it. Over a period of time, them niggas just kind of stopped fucking with each other during the promo, and then it led up to the whole face-off shit. And even then, bro, I didn't pick a side. I still right there in the middle with ARP. So he talking about bricks that was there, nigga. What about me standing there? I wasn't biased. I ain't pick a side. How you started attacking me, nigga? I see you in the comments talking crazy and shit like that in my battles and shit or on niggas' pages. Like, bro, what is you on?
Like I said, I can't really, at the end of the day, I can't really go, you know, I can't make this segment about him. And that's not really what I was trying to make it about. He talking about niggas speaking in his name. But yeah, when you're not even a brick no more, but as soon as the shit talking starts coming about us, you're on every post. So we needed to go from beginning to end why this shit is the way that it is. Whether it's misconceptions about this or misconceptions about that, niggas could have picked up the phone. At the end of the day, niggas didn't pick up the phone, and part of the problem is right now is because niggas took to the internet. However he may have felt is however he may have felt. The conception or the misconceptions of what was what ain't how it looked. Bottom line. Bottom fucking line. The reason why Coach crashed out is the way that he felt. And like I said, it was split regardless of the fact because not that nobody's saying that it was Payne's fault. The fact that all of what was done was the perception that was given that he was salty about something. I saw people saying that he won. I saw people saying that Coach won. I was mad about the fact that regardless of the fact, my nigga, y'all are being talked about on a fucking what was that? Big K versus Mook card. Nigga, you won. I didn't give a fuck about none of that shit, to be quite honest. I was mad about the fact of we're going to sit here and act like there wasn't shit being said. Period. It just is what it is. But again, this is some of the shit that happens when you're trying to build what you're trying to build. Everything is going to be my fault at the end of the day. But just as well as I have feelings too. You can't shoot at me and think that I'm not going to shoot back. And I can give a fuck about how anybody thinks that I'm supposed to act and sit back and not. I ain't never did that. And sorry, blame it on my daddy. You will not talk to me and get loud with me and think I'm not going to get loud with you. It just is what it is. Energy is going to be met with energies. Y'all some weak ass men if you can't deal with that. I'm sorry. But at the end of the day, whatever happened is what happened. At some point, if we can, I don't even think that cooler heads can prevail, because I will say I have been talking to the Bricks about even bringing Payne back. But like I said, we can't talk about shit we can talk about it, but it's not going to be truthful about things that other Bricks felt, because you were dealing with other people that had the same misconception about whatever. And even if they said today how they felt about it, it's going to be, that's not what it was. So I guess we kind of passed that is the way I'm looking at it. Godspeed. So that's what happened. Coach was doing whatever he felt Coach was doing. Payne felt this way. Somehow the Bricks got shot in the middle. And I'm sorry that it happened that way. Do I think that he can be a great battler on RBE? Absolutely. And hopefully ARP will continue to book him. I don't know. To be honest, if ARP wants to put that on Full Circle, he might do that. Absolutely. Nobody, like, I don't really care. Yeah, and it's not always the answer, and that's cool. But again, Boog, you don't do my job. So I can understand. And like I said, I completely get what you're saying, but you don't do my job. And you have not been here the whole time when everything that happens on the inside, I don't talk about. My problem was not nipping it in the bud when I should have, and it wouldn't have gotten this far. That's part of my problem. So while he upset, I am too. Because it was more so about being upset about how you're moving, opposed to now all of a sudden you're mad because the motherfucker said something about, what was the first line Av said? Something about this, something about wing special. Whatever he said is something about wing special. And I laughed at it. If that was an issue for you, again, why you didn't call me and say something about it? We weren't talking. You already had your feelings. You were already in your feelings about whatever you was already in your feelings about. All right. Sino, you want to talk about your suspension? Like, I'm all off now.
I feel like I talked about it so much. I mean, like, what do you want me to, I guess, dive into?
Hey, Sino, that laugh was so elderly. You just did an elderly. Like that shit was an old man.
It's been a lot of shit.
Yo.
You got niggas getting suspended because of drama shit that's going on. Y'all have no idea when things happen. Y'all really don't. Y'all see the aftermath. So it's a lot of shit that's been going on this past 2-3 years.
No, I don't necessarily want to speak on my little mishap or whatever, but what I do want to say is for everybody that's got so much to say about the Bricks, to say that, we don't know what we're doing. What do we got without ARP? What do we do? You know what I'm saying? Like, everybody got their own opinion, everybody got their own perception. But for the people that are just having like ill will towards it, think that the situations is funny. Like, it's not nobody that's necessarily really paying attention. Well, no, I'm not even gonna say necessarily paying attention, because I've been seeing people on Twitter and on Facebook talking about the situation that'll sit there and say they don't know nothing about us, and then when you get into a debacle with them, they start to expose that they do know a lot of us and they actually do watch our battles. My thing about it is this, and it ain't nothing too big or whatever. Like, I understand, I get it. Them over there, if you're a URL fan, if you're a Bullpen fan, Riot fan, I understand that we're on the side that everybody doesn't necessarily fuck with. And that's cool. You know what I'm saying? I understand that. But say that. Don't make it seem like you just don't like the Bricks, because there's a lot of y'all that are fans of us. Like, y'all, like, I have fans that are fans of Sino Savvy. I know sniper that are sniper. I know people that are sniper fans, Jay Breed fans, Will Major fans, Coach Corleone fans, Kausion fans. It's a lot of people that are fans of individual bricks. Y'all just don't like RBE. And if that's what it is, that's cool. That's fine. Whatever. I understand that. But just say that. Like, if you just don't like where we're at and what we're, like what flag we're waving and all this stuff like that, just keep it that. Like, just keep it gangster. You know what I'm saying? Like, we don't gotta sit here and lie and make it seem like you're not fans of us, because the same people that be saying they don't know the bricks, y'all be running up to me trying to take pictures and shake my hand when y'all see me at Riot events, We Go Hard events, OSBL events, wherever I may or may not be at. Y'all be the first ones walking up to me to say, "Hey, what's up, Cino?" But then y'all will be the next ones to get under post and say, y'all don't know the bricks. But y'all will know I'm a brick. You know what I'm saying? So that's the only thing I really have to say about that.
But
Like, from
they
everything I've been
might
saying, it's
not.
just kind of lame.
But here's the thing, and that's what I was telling y'all too. Basically looking at it from both sides of the spectrum, they may not. I started the intake process, which was an idea of ARP. So when the intake process, because it was so many more intake than it was bricks, like I said, we talked about this. Shit, y'all got lazy, y'all got complacent, y'all, some of y'all felt like, hey, this is where we are, we're on the RBE roster. These are people who had hunger, who was coming in and basically doing what they was doing, and kind of people saw that and thought, oh shit, that resembled what the bricks did when they started. So for some, that I can see where that came from, because it was so many of y'all that people had to identify with what was what. So I get that. You know what I mean? It was kind of dividing lines. Now let's get back to your suspension. As I said, for some of y'all who just came in, I don't care if you don't like it. It has nothing to do with personal with me. It has to do with the system that we had, or the system that we have. You ain't gotta like it. It is what it is. This is what I chose. This is how I chose to set up a system, because I had to work with these people. And I understood that dealing with different type of, I've seen to be honest, me and P used to talk often, but I'm seeing what he goes through. And I also see other shit that ain't so great and whatever. That ain't for me to talk about that business. But I've always been in this game to understand what's going on in different things. I've been an athlete all my life. There are always rules in anything that you do in life, in sports. This is a sport to me. But at the same time, I'm not going, if I have to deal with them, I have to be able to get this process, because one bad apple can spoil it for everybody. You have different people with one leg in, one leg out. Like I said, it's a lot to manage. You are managing over 100 people. There has to be some type of structure. So that's why even with that situation with Cino, it wasn't even of his own. It was a lot of shit that happened with that, unfortunately, that we basically had him sit out for a minute, and then he came back, and we are where we are. But like I said, that structure is what it is. In order to be epic but useful. Oh, I'm not sure what he meant by that. But yeah, the structure is what it is. When you have people spending their money and on people who they don't know themselves, you have to have some type of fail safe to make sure that things go to what that they need to go, to make sure the right people are going to be being booked and just displayed on the channel. So that's just the way that goes. The checks and balances on their side to make sure that they're doing what they need to do to stay booked. It was a lot that went into it. Fine, I'm on a power trip, but guess what? We're here. I'm on a power trip, but y'all ain't the ones booking them. Y'all ain't the ones that know them. Y'all ain't the one that's dealing with them. Call it what you will. I guess the people at your job is on a power trip too, right? All right. Good talk. 6'8". We're gonna go to 6'8". He said something about a power trip too. So let's go there. Now let's get into the business aspect, because that's something that y'all learn too. With the business aspect of things, while we have the top tiers, God tiers that come on the channel, these are the people who mainly keep the channel flourishing, right? Yeah, again, when you're trying to build the bricks, we're looking at their numbers, we're looking at their media presence. There's a 70-30 that we actually go by. And then you had certain people feeling a way about the fact that they weren't being looked at over a Sino, over a J Breed, over a Zay, or what have you. But they were still being booked, and they were still getting the names that, or at least the battles and names that they wanted. But they were not bringing in the views. They were not bringing many people through the door, and they were not bringing VOD sales. Our first person that, going back to the first season, the first person that actually left the bricks was Larry Bull. Again, that was a decision of everybody.
But Larry ain't crashed the whip though when he left. Larry
did not crash out. Yeah, they said that I'm on a power trip, but yet and still, that wasn't a decision of mine. The fact that 6'8" was also not a total decision of mine. That was a decision of Lawrence, actually. And while I kept fighting to keep him there, it was after some other shit occurred. Plus the fact that he just main evented a card and got 3,000 views collectively on the RBE channel. We're cutting the fat. As I said, I'm the woman right here. I'm the one that's going to always take the shots, or always get the shots. So we have intake people who get more than 3,000 views on the channel.
Do you feel any of these is there room for any conversation outside of the day at this moment?
Do I feel what?
Like there's room for any conversation outside of niggas like coming up right now and saying something?
Well, no, I'm done with the whole 6'8" situation. I mean, that again, that was never a decision of mine by myself. That was bringing all of these different situations together. And even with the contract situation, now the contracts are gone. So we are trimming the fat. We saving Kausion for last. That's completely last. But yeah, no, that's done. That's done. I think maybe Jers. But I don't, like I said, Lawrence, I know that he wasn't really wanting him to stick around. But then he also, I don't know. I was just talking to ARP about Payne. But like I said, I feel like that's too far gone too. I feel like when people got comfortable with the fact that ARP was booking them on the main stage, which was actually said, they don't need this anymore. They don't need the constant brick battles that are being done. So people started to act out. But that was that. Now getting to, unfortunately, even with Kausion too, even if we, take out the whole friendship thing or whatever, with the whole Kausion situation, I was actually going to sit her down, because there is a thing that we talk about as far as protecting the artist. She had lost several battles. The battle that she had with what's his name? Ziggy. The battle that she had with Ziggy. The battle that she had with Raw Image. It was several battles that, unfortunately, it was like, do you keep letting her battle? And then up to the Gwitty battle, do you keep letting her battle or not? That's the part of that. Do you keep letting her battle or not? I felt like Kay Walker even tried to take her, because he felt like, and that's just my opinion, that he felt like she may have been an easy target. Some things behind the scenes were happening as well, but also with the fact that when we went to the table and the last event that we had, Lawrence had made a comment about some things that were happening, being that we moved the situation to Virginia. When we moved it to Virginia, there were 3 other Virginians that are B1s that are bringing money through the door, VOD sales, and doing pretty good. When we weighed that with what Kausion is doing, while that's the beautiful thing about it. For those of you that look at people as the way you look at them, she's great. She's great. But if that was the case, how many of y'all bought VODs? How many of y'all came to an event to see her? When she didn't get Wody and she felt the way about me and being upset about the fact that, or she wasn't on Wody, felt the way about the whole Wody situation, that was an issue for her. She made a comment in regard to, if Wing doesn't like you anymore, or you don't do what she tells you to do, she kicks you out. How in the fuck could she possibly say that when a lot of the shit that did occur within the bricks behind the scenes had to do with her? And I took a lot of shots for that. But it was still, the fact of the matter was, I'm trying to show you what's happening, and I need you to fall back on this. I need you to not make this post. I need you to do these different things. You had so much so that you had other bricks telling that when the easy situation occurred, I had to make a decision, and I chose her. I chose to, of course, that's part of the team. But she was reprimanded about that, because now that's taking opportunities from somebody else. The image started to look a certain way from people outside, and I'm hearing about this. All right. So with that situation, it is a little bit more personable because that is your friend. But then when you start to do things, I can't work with you. I have to protect what's going on here. And there is no loyalty. So we're going to stop that, because we're not even going to get into the personal aspect of it, because it has no place here. It's totally business. But yeah, that's furthest from the truth. I would like for her to, while she can't speak for somebody else, she can definitely not speak for anybody else. There's no way that somebody can say, oh, Wing doesn't like you, when Wing brought everybody in. If you start to move a certain way, that I don't have to work with you. And I don't really care how anybody feels about that. Y'all don't deal with these people. Y'all don't put out the fires that I put out. Y'all don't see the backbiting that these motherfuckers do. All of these different things, call it what you will. Do what I do, and we can talk about it. Every league owner, every person that has had something to do in this culture does not have an easy job. You have to make the choices that you have to make. Not being a part of the bricks doesn't mean that they cannot still be booked, though. That's the difference. And nobody ever said that you could not be put out of the brick process. Nobody ever said that. Jay Gutta, no, I don't. Right now, while she is a rising star, I mean, I'm not refuting that at all. Same way I'm not refuting it at all with Payne either. It has nothing to do. It's how do they right those wrongs? I would like for y'all to ask that. How do they right those wrongs? How do we come to a middle ground? That's what I would like to ask. How do we come to a middle ground of anything? Because I'm not going to play the sob story with anyone. I've always told them, every time something happens, these people up here can tell you, I'm ready to move. I'm ready to go. I'll be ready to go. Like, I really, unfortunately, if you want to call it personal, I spend most of my time with them in terms of every need that they have, every question that they have, trying to make game plans for everything that they need. I'm thinking months in advance for events for them. I spend a lot of time outside of that, a lot of time doing that, going to work and my child. So it's a lot that I do when it comes to this business that a lot of y'all aren't paying attention to, nor do you care about, until they run out and tell the world about what's going on. But I'm not going to sit here and chronicleize that shit for 4 hours. I'm not going to do it, because we can talk about every little thing and go right into it. Yeah, my job is to do that. But what is their job? Since we want to talk about jobs, what's their job? Kausion also took accountability with her part in this situation with Caps. That's wonderful. And I'm not sure how that relates to this situation. Her taking accountability now or her taking accountability when it was time to, because she didn't do that well. Taking accountability now. And the crazy part about this is it's been over a month and nobody knew about this. Nobody knew about any of this. Yeah, there was a lot of accountability that should have been taken and it wasn't. Things were still happening. That's the problem. So like I said, it was, and then, like I said, that's that. I'm answering questions because we completely got off track here. So who are the bricks and who not? I'm just here. There is a roster that was put out. And 2, she can still be booked by ARP. So I'm not that's the thing about it. ARP can still book them. So I'm not really sure what the issue is. Their job is to show up with 3 solid rounds and not choke. ACP, you think so? You think that's all they have to do? So let me ask you this. A recording artist's job in order to get them where they're at is what? Hitman Holla's job was to do what? Calico's job was to do what? Lux's job was to do what? These are all businessmen. So they wasn't supposed to know the business. They wasn't supposed to be assets to the company. They weren't DNA. They weren't supposed to do none of those things, right? But this is why we really don't have these conversations. And I really didn't want to have these conversations because it's definitely more than just showing up to rap. And that's part of the problem when people are spending the amount of money that they're spending for these events. And people do the things that they're doing, and people want to be able to jump over a process of other people. And this is where the politics come in place. So when you hear different people talking about, oh, well, they used me for this and they never gave me any plate, y'all don't hear that situation over here. What you hear is a lot of emotional rants because people did feel as though this may have happened and that may have happened. Nobody has gotten passed up in any form of fashion. Nobody. They are definitely making their names. When do I take accountability instead of always trying to embarrass someone? Tell me who I embarrassed, and because I'm not the one talking. I wasn't the one talking. I just felt like things needed to be addressed. So please explain to me who I embarrassed and what accountability I should take.
But Wayne, the thing is with that part is the people don't see and hear the stuff that's being said to other people, and the other people get on Twitter and say shit that they not supposed to know or say.
Oh, I know that. I know that. I know that, but that's what I'm saying. We have different sides of the culture that's hear different things, see different things. Not everybody knows a bunch of stuff. So you can't really talk about everything. And when people manipulate situations, they go by what the consensus are saying. So you have the bloggers coming out talking about different things. So now you can basically spearhead a situation and do whatever. Here's the beautiful thing about it. They care enough. I don't. This is not my real life. And most of these people I would never see again anyway. Y'all know I've already said I don't care about stepping down. When things start to go awry or whatever the case may be and people feel a certain way, I can move back. I can move away. And y'all know I've been trying to do that for the past 2 years. Y'all know I was trying to do that after the Coach and Payne situation. It does not matter to me. You have a handful of people that feel away, but then you got over 100 people that are flourishing. That's my point. Stars are no stars or up and coming stars. People can feel the way they want to feel. People feel a way about me. You know what I mean? It's so you can never win in this situation. It's always somebody else doing wrong to somebody else, but yet and still, I was the one who put everybody in the position and tried to keep them in the position. R&B power, yeah. Kausion wasn't. That's why with that situation, like I said, we can go on and on and on with that situation. Payne let me hear the voice recordings. I did not know he was going to do that interview and say what he said in that interview. It was simple. And so many of the other interviews that have been done. But I'm not fit to sit here and argue that back and forth. The interviews are out there. People can go look for them. The beautiful thing about it is he does them on the smaller platforms that nobody's, and that's no slight to the smaller platforms because you know I'm tuned in with y'all. But he'll do those on the smaller platforms where nobody's checking for. So like I said, you know, I'm not fit to sit here and argue about that. The point of the matter was nobody stopped fucking with him. And when things were being brought back to me, just like they was being brought back to him, he felt the way he felt, and I felt the way I felt. I didn't even know that the boy had blocked me. So it was like, okay, you know, that's fine. But you mad about something. I think I had said something to him on Twitter about when he had said somebody, nobody has done anything for me or whatever. That's what I responded to. You blocking me, but you're talking about what somebody didn't do for you. Go ask about this, that, and the third. No, and that's the thing about it. I wasn't mad. Why am I mad? Because you blocked me. I wonder why the hell you mad about if you looked at what I guess whatever the caption was, you were looking at me laughing at something, but I'm laughing at what was said in the video, which was when he said what he said, we didn't even get to that. I wasn't even in the footage. I stood right there in front of the camera in support of him. He didn't mention the fact that the motherfucker was sitting up here talking about big brick shit, all of that. And we wasn't even talking. It's a lot that motherfuckers forget when they mad about shit. It didn't matter. We knew, like he said, you knew it was bias in that motherfucker, and you knew that. Yeah, I knew all of that. And Mika and I was the loudest motherfuckers in the room talking about big brick shit. Sure the fuck was. So it is what it is. David, you actually don't need that. And the reason why you don't need that is because it's crazy how the brick process, he was at my house when I started the brick process. So he definitely knows about the brick process. Oh, I'm not even going to put that up there. Somebody said we do more talking than events. All right. So anything else that needs to be addressed? I don't even think we addressed everything, to be honest. That I completely got off track with all of this. Yeah, I know it. Okay. What I tried, or what I'm trying, and actually it's working. What I'm trying and to do is, you're right. People, the fact that some of these people aren't becoming businessmen, does that mean that they shouldn't? You do realize the league owner, the CEO of this company, drops jewels on niggas every day. These battle rappers call him every day. Averb and him had a conversation about what he should be doing, this and this and this. He doing this over here now. Rosenberg, he doing that over here now. What is wrong with teaching people how to be businessmen in battle rap? I'm not really understanding what's wrong with that. The blogger media outlet grind is the same grind for real of a battle rapper. So what happened? What you say, Marvelous?
Why y'all making excuses for people not being businessmen in business? Y'all got to stop with that shit. This is a business. Y'all making excuses
This
for
is a
people not
business,
knowing the
right?
business. This shit is y'all be wanting big matchups. Y'all be wanting all these names. This shit is built off business and revenue. Like this money don't grow on trees in battle rap.
Money does not grow on trees in battle rap. People asked for RBE to start a roster. We started a roster. We started an up and coming roster. We did what we could. ARP decided to fall back a little bit. He's doing the full circles. He started to fall back even more. So, events started to become stagnant or what have you. So, yeah, as we're trying to build on to the brand, this is a new journey. We're going from the basics where we have the full circles that when ARP wants to put somebody on a full circle, he will. But at the same time, the structure of any business model has to be that when money is spent. That's just the bottom line. I mean, I don't really know how to slice it or dice it. That is the bottom line. House of Rebels asks, who are the highlighted artists now? And that's the thing about it. So even the people that you're seeing that have made the main events and kind of made names for themselves before ARP decided to kind of fall back, you saw the snipers, you saw Jay Breach, you saw Zay, Sino, Def the Kid, and I feel like I'm missing somebody else. At least 5. Oh, and Tato. I'm so sorry. And Tato, you saw them being displayed. When in actuality, you kind of saw Breed and Zay in Blood, Sweat, and Tears. But like I said, there is a hierarchy. So the ones that we started to build first were the ones that we built first, and then this last year is where we were starting to build the profile of the last 5 that were coming in. So really, that was kind of the plan every year for everybody to kind of do that. Now, because of ARP falling back, we're doing it a different way. There's never not been a system here. There's never not been somebody again, just as well as somebody may say that they're an artist that's battling or that on RBE doesn't have there's no more contracts anymore. So everybody's on the same playing field. Just as well as they may feel like they don't want to have to battle the bricks. If they're choosing not to battle the bricks, you can't make them battle the bricks. But we are still going to have cards as we've done all year. And that's just how it goes. Right now, we're doing the league versus league thing. We're bringing in different battlers that, with one-offs that are the bigger battlers along and mixing them in with the bricks that are actually making their names right now. So that's what we're doing. We're moving forward. I'm not sure what happened with Bree, but yeah, that's what it is. We're moving forward as we can. But again, like I said, we do have and I'm so sorry. You said other females outside of Tato at the time, and Tato was another situation. Tato didn't get kicked out. Like I said, a lot of people didn't get kicked out. They left. Tato was actually supposed to be on Bricks versus Intake. She declined that. She was actually supposed to have a second appearance in the Blue Room. She declined that. She felt as though she was being punished because she had to battle a brick. So again, it's not Wing telling you have to battle a brick. That's what we had available. And due to the hierarchy, that's what was supposed to happen. And people get mad. I can't really do nothing about that. The other females that are moving up right now would be Peaches and Raw Image. See, that's the thing. The bricks do promote. Some of them do promote. A lot of them do promote. And the Intake do as well. Like I said, it's the they said it's a lot, or I'm sorry, I'm looking at something. It's just a lot. You got to see where they're promoting. Sometimes they're not on the bigger channel. Sometimes they are. we are going to do a couple of more questions and we're going to get out of here. Somebody just said, yeah, everybody said, let me get out of here. No, we kind of didn't plan on being damn near 2 hours talking about this. We had a game plan of what we were talking about, and we'll be able to do this with a few other people because it's some shows that had other shows that had called that kind of wanted to talk about different things. But like I said, for the most part, this is where we are. What mess did I get caught in? Are we referring to what, when I managed the females, or are we referring to when I was running with the people I was running with on during my show? I mean, what are we talking about? Me being in the middle of mess, that ain't nothing new. It's a lot of people that been in the middle of mess. But what exactly specifically are you referring to? I don't run from shit. What are you referring to? Nah, I'm not quitting. What I'm saying is that there has been times that has nothing to do with quitting. It's just as well as the way they feel is the way I've been feeling, because it's a lot that we don't talk about that, unfortunately, you know. So, Miss Petty, what were you referring to? If Caution is here, she knows she can come up. The link is in the chat. Okay, so if we don't have any more oh shit, it's a whole bunch of comments. I'm sorry, I'm doing this by myself. All right, so what are we done? If we done, that's cool. Like I said, anything and everything can be addressed. We just ain't trying to address a lot of shit. A lot of the personal shit don't need to be addressed. Again, this is a business, and that's what we're talking about. A brick list was posted. Where was it? It was on the internet. Yes, Chris, it was on the internet. The flyer ARP has on his Instagram. Oh, okay. I'm sorry, House of Rebels. So, basically, as far as the business goes, the personal side of things, it came down to several different things. Unfortunately, there was a lot of different stuff that had occurred behind the scenes, and stuff that I ended up taking shots for, having to do with other bricks, and unfortunately, that it got old. I think the last straw really was the whole Easy situation, where I had to stand with her. The profile for her was kind of, while she is doing, like, I hear the support for her. Like, don't get it fucked up. But at the same time, the business model, just as well as other people have been told, you have to be more of an asset than a liability. I'm also taking hits for the fact that people felt as though she was in the wrong with the situation with her and Easy. And then it was things behind the scenes that were told to me by her that where I'm telling her to kind of fall back. There was a Wody panels conversation that I guess she had, that she was upset that it was some things personally that she was behind the scenes saying that should not have been said, where she felt as though I should have had her back, that she should have been on the Wody panel. She said in regard to, I guess when whoever show she was on, when she said that something about if I don't like you, you don't do what I say, I will kick you out. The crazy part about it is she's closest to one of the closest to me, and she knows that that is not the case. She was being sat down initially because of the losses. She knows that. Lawrence, ARP, and myself have all had this conversation about protecting the battle rapper. If your profile is losses, and that's going to devalue you. This is part of the business that we talk about. So if I'm saying to you, this is what you need to do, and then you're getting personal behind the scenes, that becomes a problem. That becomes a problem. The easy situation was kind of the nail on the coffin, in the coffin, where we had a strategy meeting, because these are the things that we do. We had a strategy meeting. Battle Academy was actually supposed to be first, as they are. Go cop your pay-per-view and your tickets for that. It is a pay-per-view for this, by the way. And your tickets. It will be in Hampton, Virginia. But we had a strategy meeting, and in that strategy meeting, she was advised, do not say anything about any of the goings-ons with Easy. 3 different people told her. I was the last. When she said, well, I can't do, I said, you don't say anything, Kausion. And even after that, I think I was on the phone, or may have been going to say, I can't remember, but I remember she texted me, and it was some things that she felt Easy was saying in verb space. ARP had already come in that space, said what he had to say, went crazy about it. And she still decided to go crazy about that situation. How many shots are we supposed to take? Because I am on the ground floor. I am being blamed for taking other opportunities from people, because now that's a situation that now everybody is like, you allow her to do what she do, and it looks as if y'all don't care. She can just do what she do. So I'm looking at all the bullshit that's happening right now. So with me, like I said, and of course, some of y'all saw when I said, hey, and I mean, that's kind of what I was going to do. You're not taking her off of a card. I felt like he was being arrogant in that moment, and I made a choice. It won't be no card. You can't take her off a fucking card. But they have been going all day. And when I got up the next morning, they was going all day, all night, and then the next morning. So I dubbed the card. And I got blamed for it along with her. So, like I said, along with other things behind the scenes, I had to and then like I said, while she, like I said, I'm taking nothing away from her, but she's also still fire as hell. She's losing steam, and then shit like this ain't making it no better. So I had to make that decision to pull her back, sit her down, along with all this other shit that's going on behind the scenes. And that's what happened. Now, if she wants to come up here and have that conversation, or go anywhere and have that conversation in front of everybody else, we definitely can. Because the last motherfucking narrative she should have been making is the fact that, oh, you don't like people, you kick them off, when she know that was furthest from the fucking truth. And they were. And see, damn, the whole card was on one person. And that's the shit that I got. The whole card was on one person. But I should have taken her off, right? And guess what? Y'all would be sitting here with me right now doing the same shit that we doing. That's all I'm saying. I'm not sure what that means as far as a respect factor. we're gonna get out of here. Marv, you got anything you want to say or anything else you want to say? Because yeah, I'm kind of over it now. But yeah, that's pretty much, huh?
Mutual Hostility, July 20th. Get your pay-per-views.
That part.
We're gonna whoop Battle Academy ass. Y'all can watch it live.
House of Rebels, don't I listen? I'm actually supposed to be going on a show with Easy soon too. So I would say don't think that it's not out of the works. That was that, like, we sat back, man, I don't even want to talk about it, but like I said, it's more to come. Don't get it fucked up. It's definitely more to come. Let me see. The top of the company are better. To be honest, most people felt like her relationship with me was best, to be honest. That I think that's the problem with most of the I feel like that's the problem with most of all of this, to be honest, where people have had that relationship with me, but it's certain things that if you're not going to say to ARP, you feel me? You're not going to say certain things to ARP that you're going to say to Wind. You're going to throw the rock and hide your hand. That's just the way that go. Oh, shout out Polo for sure. You know, for sure. I'll definitely, y'all hit me up. I was talking to Tony today. Please consider how you evaluate losses. They may not count as much as you. ACP, you know what's funny? I felt the same way until I saw her battle with C3, her battle or the commentary with her battle with C3, her battle with what's her name? First Lady Flames. Yeah, I felt the same way. But the way y'all made it seem, along with some of the bloggers that are now doing interviewing her, that's funny. They felt the same way. They felt like she wasn't ready. They felt like she wasn't this, she wasn't that. We put her in the ring too soon. All of these different things motherfuckers felt. And now all of a sudden it's a change of heart. Payne on Caps Live saying you won't book him. And see, that's funny because guess what? I just had a conversation with ARP, which I just sat up here and said that we were actually bringing him back. But at the same time, booking him is one thing. Who he chooses to battle is another. When he just sat up here and said he didn't want to battle his brothers. But if he don't want to battle his brothers, who is he going to battle? We can do the big names, but is he going to be the draw to bring the people through the door? That's the problem. It's never not been a situation of not booking him, but we also got to have that conversation too. But that's what we're forgetting. It's a lot of things that the humility aspect of it, we can have. We were trying to have a conversation here, but it's a lot of shit that has happened in between that he wants to talk. I want to talk. There's misconceptions about what he did. There's misconceptions about what I did. Or what he felt I did and what I felt he did. It's so many people in the middle of this when people put batteries in your back, when this could have been nipped in the bud from the beginning, and I thought everything was. But it's not even a matter of not booking him. It never was. ARP and I had a conversation 2 days ago. So my number has actually changed. He can unblock me and we can have a conversation. I ain't against that. Never was against it, to be honest. But like I said, everything that you see ain't what it is. The conversation to bring him back, it would be the same shit that's already happened. So, you know, I don't know. Like I said, there can be a conversation had. I ain't mad at that. I never was. I wouldn't have brought him up here if it was simple. and then they lose or don't have a good showing, we tend to OD on tough love. And Treehouse, you know what? I'm big on that tough love too. That's the problem. Because that's they love you today and they hate you tomorrow. They paint narratives about what you're doing and what you're not doing. But you know what? Those same people that paint them narratives about what you're not doing, it makes it harder for us to build you back up because they're going to continue to paint those narratives. You see what I'm saying? So it's kind of hard to figure out how to do that if somebody is continuing to lose. And you know what? Matter of fact, on the Wody panel, the year before last, when she was put on the Wody panel, I actually told the ladies that I was going to sit out. I'm going to let them make that decision on her because I didn't want anybody to feel like I was being biased. So I didn't, if you pay attention to the year before last, I don't speak on Kausion at all. I let them talk about it, make their decision, put her wherever they had her. This year, we talked about it off camera, obviously. And they said that they didn't have her on the list because they felt like she didn't have enough notable battles. Her prior year didn't add up to her year, her current year, or that we were doing Wody. So the notable battles she needed more of. It wasn't even the fact that she was on RBE. It wasn't even the fact of how good the battles were. But they also noted that she lost majority of her battles. So that's why they took her or didn't add her on the panel, or on the Wody list. There were talks, there were different, criteria talks or whatever to try and put her on there, but it was unanimous in that she hadn't done enough this year. So that's definitely, a bigger factor where, okay, if that's the way y'all feel this year, we got to press to this. We got to do this. We got to do that. So, yeah. Well, see, that's part of y'all's problem. If ARP started this process, he would speak to it. And he still might. He actually made a big, long message to the culture. What you may feel is somebody else speaking for the company, but would you say that if it was his brother? Would you say that if it was Ant, Dap the God, even Lawrence? What's new to you isn't new. This is a process that he had absolutely nothing to do with, that I came in and asked basically, hey, if I come on to host and start working with the 1SKs, this is what I asked for. They said that y'all don't build a roster. Let's build a roster. Let's do this. Let's do that. The plan is what it is. I asked them for these set of rules and they said, okay. So that's the problem with what's going on right now. You feel as though who's not big enough because somebody told you my profile is not big enough, but my experience, my business experience is. Most of the cards that you've seen outside of the bigger cards, the brick matches that have been in the blue room, he said that the other day. Who do you think is doing the brick matches? Somebody who's behind the scenes. That's not my fault because you don't know. I would say tap in and stay tapped in and support if you're going to support. That's what I would say. There's room for all of these people to grow. Keep watching. You respect the head coach more than you respect the conditioning coach. Okay, but I'm trying to figure out why that's fair. So basically everybody, again, that's splitting haters. Go ahead.
Niggas is talking stupid. Y'all don't even know what the fuck going on.
But I know I do. Even if it's a stupid question, I get where they're coming from. I'm not saying that he's wrong in saying that.
When it comes to the bricks, you are the head coach. That's not what they understand. Like,
Nothing that I did was personal. Y'all can feel the way you want to feel. They can still be booked. So it's nothing personal. I have 100 people that I'm working with. You can feel the way you want to feel. It's been business. And the business model is that we have people who aren't doing what they need to do. Some people who felt as though, they're going to battle on the main stage. They're no longer bricks. I can't help that. Now that y'all just now hearing about it, it's what it is. Then you have somebody who main stage that's doing 3,000 views. That wasn't my decision, though. We just said that. So it is what it is. That was their decision. The same way that somebody else came in, nobody's clicking this battle to watch. I mean, why are they still here? So to make y'all happy, we should just leave them on the roster because they're not doing what they need to do and actually substantiating or basically bringing in their financial obligation. That's not Kausion or Payne I'm talking about, but there's more than just that, unless that's just what y'all focusing on, because there's more issues here. So, I mean, that's the way you feel. If I walk away, there won't be bricks because they don't have time. That was never how it was built. It was all gravy when there was no issues and y'all knew nothing, but there were always issues. All right, we ready to get out of here? Because at the end of the day, it's going to be what it's going to be. What was said, what was said. And that's all I'm saying. Why would he want to go through me? Simple. He could, and that's all I'm saying. He was never, I run a completely different division. Everybody who's made their name on the main stage can be booked on the main stage. So I'm just trying to figure out what the issue is. Simple. So that's where we are, splitting hairs. Thank you. Thank you. Simple. So, all right, I'm out of here. I like the league versus league. I mean, I feel like it's something new. It allows for the bricks, and it just kind of, I mean, everybody, it looks like is doing league versus league right now. I mean, I feel like people are league owners are trying to show their talent might be better than somebody else. I mean, I like the fact that it's an art of sport. So, you know. When the conditioning coach walks in, it's all business. And the conditioning coach I am, because apparently they don't like the fact that I rule with an iron fist, and I can understand that. I definitely can understand that. But guess what? It's the reason why a lot of people are the reason why y'all know a lot of people and the people that y'all are talking about right now, to be quite honest. And nobody can take that away. It is what it is. If I didn't push for them, nobody else was. That's a whole fact, Big Wash. Like I said, it is, perception is everything. And you know, perception is everything, and the consumer's perception is what keeps things running. You guys need to reevaluate your attitudes. You're right, myself and the battlers included. You are absolutely right. But you don't get this always, to be quite honest. It's actually ARP was saying that not too long ago. You are absolutely right. But I do know that again, it's beneficial when it's benefiting someone. It's not beneficial when it's directed toward something you're not doing. You see what I'm saying? So again, it's a double-edged sword there, because I can tell you, hey, you need to step it up. You need to do this. You need to do that, or else I got to sit you down. because in a minute, this is what's going to happen. Or basically, if you're backbiting to get this situation and you're playing up under somebody to get that situation, or whatever the case may be, and then everybody's looking at Wing like, hey, you act like you don't see this. This person is doing this. The bricks, fuck the bricks. It's politics. It's this, it's that, because everybody is mad at one person. It's a lot of things that at the end of the day are happening that we're not going to talk about that, because if they want to talk about them, they can. But at the end of the day, yeah, the attitudes, it's easy to say everybody needs to reevaluate the attitudes, but it's a lot of shit that when Payne jumped out the window, motherfuckers felt I had caution side. He felt I had caution side. Now that the spotlight is on her because of the stuff that's happened, it's like I said, and to be honest, all this extra shit that's going on, nobody in the world would have dealt with. No, she is not anymore. She left. She decided the battle that she was having, she didn't want. She was supposed to battle on Bricks versus Intake the end of December, and she declined that battle after I took somebody off the card for her to have that battle. Like I said, it's a lot. But no, she isn't anymore. We have Marvelous. He said we need more maybe diss tracks too. There's a lot of diss tracks. That's what I'm saying. What are y'all not looking at? There's a lot of diss tracks out there. The Bricks stay doing diss tracks. We need more. I mean, it's all of that is happening. All of that is happening. Who's reporting on it is the problem. All right, we out of here. Yes, they have come to ARP, and like I said, there's a lot of different things we may do. Him and I may do a interview too. So we can talk about these things as well. But yeah, I do believe that. Absolutely, I do. But again, like I said, the tone that I have when I'm behind them cheering and, hey, do this and we need to do that, and I'm giving the pep talks, all of those things are wonderful. But let me be upset about some shit that you've done, and now we're here and I'm going off and you going off. Yeah, nah, ain't nobody trying to hear that. Nobody's trying to hear that. But that is life. And like I said, it's what it is. We definitely need that. ARP and I might do that. And actually, I kind of asked to do that. I definitely kind of asked to do that. And we may need to. We may need to. Without blaming the Bricks, what do you think you could have done better to build familiarity with the fans? To be honest, I never blame the Bricks. I feel like y'all are telling me what the Bricks aren't doing, and the Bricks are doing so much. Shit, our last event, Vada Fly and them was at. They were brought out to commentate the event. We've had the bloggers, we've had we've put the names on the cards or whatever. I feel like the visibility needs to be there when they are going and asking for these events, when they are tagging media to their whatever it is that they're doing. All of these things are being done. Interviews, they know they have to do interviews. And to be honest, two certified, this is what the 70 is. This is exactly what I mean by a structure. This is what the 70 is. The 70 is there for them. They have a certain thing that they need to do every single day, because we know that it's not easy for new people coming in that may be waiting for that battle or waiting for that big stage or whatever it is, that we trying to make the visibility be there with the battles combined. So like I said, we still working at it. We are still working at it. But right now we just gonna keep working. That's all I can really say. We will continue to try to keep working to keep that visibility out there. We're gonna make this negative into a positive. Yeah, I heard that he is with Cabs. That's beautiful. That is absolutely beautiful. And I'll be doing some more interviews too. I won't be talking about him though. At the end of the day, if there's a conversation that he wants to be had, then that conversation he will have to have. But what we're not going to do is sit here and split hairs about who said what, when, and where. We're not going to do that. He's going to feel the way he's going to feel about whatever. At the end of the day, I'm saying here, nobody ever said that he could not be booked. He said he was not working with the bricks. ARP booked me. ARP fell off. Now he's back. Let's look at what's really happening here, because I never one time said that he was not being booked at all. He actually, when he battled one of these top tiers, I actually made that battle happen. So please, when it comes to that, I'm not trying to hear any of it. I'm not trying to hear any of it. That's not what we're doing. He's gotten the battles that he's gotten. The door was open for bookings. It's what he wanted as far as bookings. He never came and expressed that. Simple. It is that simple. And I saw too much potential. That's why I brought him back. That's why I never stopped trying to do what I could. It wasn't until he felt the way that he felt. That's what it is. But again, I'm not supposed to sit here and go back and forth. Even with the trenches situation, there was supposed to be a conversation to bring him back. What am I not saying? Unfortunately, we saw what happened with the trenches situation. It's no more. As I said, it is what it is. So, but that's not what you asked. You're saying that you need Payne, and then you're saying this and that, whatever. At the end of the day, this is about me, because this is where they started. So what I'm telling you is, whether ARP does it or whether not, this is where it started. This is why all this is going on. It was never not one time that he could not battle. It was what he chose that he wanted. He did not make the calls that he should have made. He did not ask to do certain things. And the reason why is because of whatever his reasons were. Simple. Ask him, why did you not call to be booked on brick cards? Ask that. You know what, Mr. Cheeks? I'm not gonna listen. I'm not gonna say that. I'm not gonna say that. I'm gonna say the people that we were building, I feel like they all had great potential. It's simple. Whatever can be worked out can be worked out, though. But we're not gonna sit here and act like that wasn't a thing. All right, y'all. We out of here.